What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today I'm going to show you guys how to replace a damaged tile. So we've got here a nice little chip in this floor tile. I'm going to show you guys how to remove the damaged tile and then how to install your new one. Let's do this. Alright guys, so this is a close-up of the damage that we're dealing with. Nice little chip, bit of an eyesore on the floor tiles, and it's time to replace this tile here. Always a good idea if you lay tiles in your house to keep a few spare, as I've got here. That way we can match this one here up 100%. If you haven't got any spare tiles, best thing to do is remove a little piece of this damaged tile, take it into your local tile store and try and match it up in that way. First thing we're going to do is remove our grout. So we've got our grout lines going all the way around this tile here. We need to remove that grout line. That does a couple things. It protects the surrounding tiles around so that we don't actually lift the surrounding tiles once it comes time to remove this tile here. Number two, it makes it a lot easier to actually remove this tile with the grout lines out. So there's a couple ways to do this. We can use an angle grinder, using a diamond blade as I've got here. The only issue with this, apart from making a fair bit of dust, is the spacing. So if we have a look at our grout line here, it's fairly narrow. The blade fits perfectly in that grout line. However, if I have the angle grinder move just a little bit to the side as I'm cutting this grout here out, we can see that we're going to damage the surrounding tiles. So I want to prevent that as much as possible. And the way we're going to do that today is by using a multi-tool. So we're using a multi-tool with a grout removal tool. This one here is a little bit old, but it should still do the trick. And we're going to use this here today. It's a little bit slower, but a lot more precise, and you can prevent damaging those tiles a lot easier. So let's get straight into it, guys, and let's get this tile sorted. So just a quick tip for you guys when removing this grout, whenever you're using the multi-tool or the angle grinder, keep your blade as close as possible to the damaged tile. That way we're going to prevent any damage from the surrounding tiles. So let's get started. And you can see there, that was very quick, very little mess. Everything's contained nice and close. There's no dust particles that are flying around everywhere. And we've got a nice clean cut right here. I'll show you guys a quick close-up. So you can see there with just a quick pass all the way along, we've cut all that grout out nice and easy. So I'm going to continue on, go all the way around the edges of this tile, and then I'll see you guys in a bit. So now we've completely removed the grout all the way around the tile. I'll just use a vacuum and we'll clean up this mess. So now we've got our grout removed, it's now time to break up and remove our damaged tile. There's so many different ways that you can do this. If you haven't got many tools at home, a simple hammer and chisel will do the trick. I've done it many times in the past, very effective. Today we're going to be using the rotary hammer drill. We've got it on hammer function and we're using a flat chisel. Whole purpose of this is to get in underneath the tile, let the hammer function do its job. That'll break through the tile, lifting that tile up for me. The only thing we need is a starting point. Usually I get lucky and I can use just the flat chisel, put it straight on top of the tile, and that'll give me a crack where I can turn that into a starting point. If it doesn't work, I'll switch over to the chisel point, get my starting point and remove this tile. So let's see if I'm lucky today. You can see there, that one there's gotten through. The only thing we've got to do now is start putting some upward pressure, and you can hear that wanting to crack already. I'll just lift that up a little bit. And you can see it wanting to crack, so I'll put a little bit of pressure on it and start it again. Once that's done, you can now see that the tile has come up. And we've got that now removed. So we'll clean this section here up, remove all the damaged tiles out of the way. So now we've got our tile removed. We need to remove the tile adhesive using the same method, hammer and chisel if you haven't got a hammer drill. In my case, we're going to be using the chisel again, and we're just going to break up this adhesive here and clear it all up. So now the old adhesive has been completely removed, we've vacuumed it, everything's nice and level, ready to go. It's now time to start mixing up our new adhesive. So to apply the adhesive, we've got two options. We can either apply it straight to the floor or we can butter the back of the tile. Either way is fine. In this case here, I'm just going to apply it straight to the floor. I'm using a 10mm notch trowel. So now the adhesive is ready, we can get our new tile, line that all up and drop it in place. Once you've got that leveled, what you want to do then is just basically move it back and forward a bit. Make sure you smear that adhesive down. Check your levels, make sure everything's nice and level. And then what we're going to do now is just get a wet rag and we're just going to clean off any of this excess glue. Now we'll just let this one here set, take probably about 24 hours to dry off, and then we're ready to get into grouting. Alright guys, so the adhesive is now set and it's ready to be grouted. We're using some grout here from Dunlop in Midnight Black. That way we're going to get as close as possible to our existing grout. Now grout mixes very, very easily. You need minimal amount of water, so be careful not to put too much water in. We'll just put a small amount in here. And then a very, very minor amount of water. So you can see here I've got a very little amount of water. Because most of it's made up of sand, it just mixes right through. So we just use this, mix it all around, making sure we get rid of any of the lumps. Once that's all mixed through guys, this is what it looks like. Very nice toothpaste looking consistency. It's very, very easy to work with. And we're going to use a float. So we've got here our grouting float ready to go. Simply apply some to the area. You can apply it directly to your float or straight on top like this. So now using our float, we're going to spread this material through the grout line. We're going to make sure that we try and keep it on a 45-degree angle. We don't want to go with the grout line, we don't want to go across it. It's basically a sweeping motion across on a 45-degree angle. That way we'll be able to push as much material through that grout line and we'll just go all the way around. So making sure, sweep that all the way through, push that grout through that line. So now we're going to let the grout sit here for about 10 to 20 minutes, let it develop a haze. Once the haze has appeared, we'll use a sponge and with some clean water, we'll remove that excess off. So we can see the haze is starting to appear around the edges. What I'm going to do is quickly remove the bulk before it all dries off. So using that wet sponge, we just want to remove all this bulk out of here. Once again, going across 45-degree angle. You don't want to remove too much of that grout out of the grout lines. We're just removing that bulk out of the way. And once again, clean off all the haze. And once that's done, guys, that is the finished product. This tile right here is the one that we replaced. Even the color of the grout has matched up nicely. That's the new color grout, and that is the old one. So it's nice to see that it's all blended in perfectly, but that's how simple it is to replace your tiles, guys. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching. Bill's out too.